Hello and welcome to the Public Pulse. The tax-free savings account, the TFSA, is one of the most powerful investment tools available in Canada. Since any income or capital gains earned in a TFSA are tax-free, it offers great potential for long-term growth. As well, as of January 1st, 2025, the Canada Revenue Agency is increasing the total amount Canadians can contribute to the TFSA by an additional $7,000. So for someone who has never contributed to a TFSA and was at least 18 years of age in 2009, the total contribution room is $102,000. The CRA has indicated that the latest increase is indexed to inflation annually. Here are some of the best ways to invest your TFSA, depending on your financial goals, risk tolerance, and time horizon. Stocks and equities. Well, this is good for high growth potential long-term investors. And investing in individual stocks or equity-focused ETFs is one of the most popular ways to leverage a TFSA. Since any capital gains from stock appreciation and dividends are tax-free, you can maximize your growth over time. If you're looking for high-risk, high-reward investments, individual stocks in growth sectors like technology, healthcare, or clean energy might be a good choice. Some investors may even choose to invest in dividend-paying stocks, which generate steady income, also tax-free in a TFSA. Some examples on the tech side are Apple, Tesla, or smaller growth stocks, dividend stocks such as Canadian banks, RBC, TV utilities, or telecoms. The ETF option is Vanguard S&P 500 ETF or iShares TSX 60 ETF. Another option is the exchange-traded funds ETFs. These are good for diversification, lower risk, and passive investors. ETFs are an excellent option for TFSA investments because they offer diversification, which is exposure to multiple stocks or assets at a relatively low cost. By investing in ETFs, you can track major indices like the S&P 500, the TSX Composite, or global markets, and reduce the individual stock risk. There are ETFs that focus on sector-specific investments such as technology, energy, or healthcare, or broad market ETFs that offer exposure to hundreds of companies. Some examples are Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, and for global diversification, BMO Low Volatility Canadian Equity ETF for a defensive low volatility approach to Canadian stocks. And next we have bonds and fixed income investments. This is great for conservative investors looking for stability and regular income. Investing in bonds or bond ETFs within your TFSA is a more conservative approach which might appeal to those closer to retirement or with a low tolerance for risk. Earned interest from bonds within a TFSA is tax-free. Some examples of bond ETFs are iShares Canadian Government Bond Index ETF and BMO Midterm U.S. Investment Grade Corporate Bond ETF. Now, some other options include real estate investment trust REITs, as they often pay monthly, quarterly dividends and/or mutual funds. As well, with the price of gold rising, you can also use your TFSA to invest in precious metals like gold and silver. This could prove to be a really good hedge against inflation. You can also invest in physical precious metals in ETFs or funds that track precious metals. Some examples are iShares Gold Trust ETF and SPDR Gold Shares ETF. And finally, cryptocurrencies. These are good for high-risk speculative investors. There are some crypto-focused ETFs and funds in Canada that allow you to gain exposure to the crypto market through your TFSA without directly holding the coins. Some examples are Purpose Bitcoin ETF and Evolve Ethereum ETF. And just some final tips for investing in a TFSA. Diversify your portfolio. The power of a TFSA lies in its ability to shelter returns from taxes, so it's important to use this tax-free growth opportunity wisely. Diversifying across asset classes such as stocks, bonds, ETFs, REITs can also help reduce your risk and increase the chances of long-term success. And long-term growth focus, since TFSA withdrawals are tax-free, it's best to treat the account as a long-term investment vehicle. And avoid over-contributing. Stay within the annual contribution limits to avoid penalties. Thanks so much for watching from downtown Vancouver. I'm Karina Robertson.